this woman came up to me and she goes, "He's so lucky." And I was like, "Yeah, I am lucky." And she's like, "No, I met your son." I was like, "I know, I'm just being silly." And she said, and I said, "Yeah, he's a good kid," because he is a really good kid. And she goes, "I think there's a lot of really good kids out there. The problem is we don't have a lot of really good fathers. So it's nice to see you with him." And I was just like, "Man, thank you so much. That was so nice to hear." But even riddled in that, I'm just like, do you know how exhausted I am? And like how, like, what do I get? What do I get? Let's get started. Okay, so I want to talk about how I'm feeling lately because I know that I utilize this channel a lot to show my life and Joshua's life, and specifically the joyful things about our life. But one thing I do not do a lot is I don't talk a lot about like myself, and I feel like I should be able to do that. And if anyone wants to watch this, they'll watch it. If they don't, well, then they won't. Whatever. Being a single dad is extremely lonely and exhausting. I want to make sure that I caveat that with being a single parent at all, I would imagine, is extremely lonely and exhausting. I know that this is not something that is reserved for fathers. However, I do think that there are some things that dads experience that maybe mothers don't. But I don't want to get down that road. I just want to talk about myself. Lately, I have been struggling, or I don't know about struggling. I've just been down about two things specifically. One, relationships, and two, dealing with Joshua's behaviors. So while I'm looking to date again, I'm running into some things that I find myself battling internally. This is not something that anyone has told me, "Oh, this is a problem," but it's just something that I struggle with internally. And that is as it directly relates to Joshua. Joshua sleeps in my bed every night. He falls asleep in his bed, and then between 1 and 2 a.m. every single night, he wakes up and walks in my room. Now, there are nights where he wakes me up because he'll wake up, walk in my room, and he'll climb over me and get in bed. And I'm sorry, after like a full day, I am exhausted. And the last thing I'm not even fully processing like, oh, bring him back to his room. And I think part of that is because I know if I do bring him back to his room, it's going to be this battle of crying and screaming. And not just crying, but screaming. And I don't really like doing that at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I just default to, well, screw it. Just sleep in my bed. And so during the day, I'll be thinking about this, or getting closer to bedtimes, I'll be thinking about this, and I'm just like, man, like this has got to stop. And I try so many things. I've tried melatonin, I've tried bedtime routines, and it just, none of it works. So the thing that's, the reason I bring this up is because the next place my mind goes, and very quickly, is how is a partner ever going to deal with this? Like, how are you going to ever be in a relationship? Because it's one of two things. One, you meet someone and you're with them, and then it's time to like spend the night somewhere, or them here, and it's going to be waking up in the middle of the night with a screaming child I'm trying to get to go back into his bed. Who wants to deal with that? Other than like a parent who has to deal with it. But like a partner doesn't have to deal with that. So who's going to deal with that? Or the other end is me, Joshua, and my partner all sleeping in the same bed together. And who wants to deal with that? Like, it's not like Joshua's easy to sleep next to. He sleeps freaking diagonally. It doesn't make sense. And so this has been going around in my head. And I'm just like, this sucks. And so then sometimes my mind is like, okay, well, you have to find someone who has children and they get all these things. And that's absolutely true. I do believe that like maybe the person I meet will have a child and it'll all make sense to them. But how many gay men have children? It's like there's like this roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. So, and then there's the aspect of Joshua is, I don't know if it's a phase, I don't know what the hell is going on, but he's constantly screaming, he's constantly saying no, and if he yells no, he's screaming no, and he's like digging his feet in the ground because he doesn't want to move, and then I have to get pissed off and make him move, and he knows when I'm pissed, and it's just so fucking annoying. And like, so then there's all these things like, how in the world do I have the mental capacity to deal with a whole nother person and fulfilling needs that they need? Like, how does anyone have time for that? Have energy for that? And it's not like I don't get likes on the apps. I do. I talk to people. People are interested. And I'm interested. But then I just kind of go to this place of like, what the fuck is the point? What's the point? Who cares? Because no one's going to stick around for it. And I just get, it just gets like depleting. It's not even depressing. It's just depleting. Like, oh my God. So, and then you get into like, this will never happen for you and all these things. And it's just annoying. Like being a single parent is really, 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 really difficult. And I get so annoyed with people who think they understand and have no concept, no idea. The only way that I can make sense of this is like when you don't have children, but you try and tell a parent how to parent a child or like give advice. You have no room to give a parent advice for anything. All you can and should do is just open your ears and say, man, that's hard. Or that seems like it's hard. I hear you. That's how I feel about people that are not single parents. Whether you don't have kids or you have kids and you have another partner. I was talking to someone just yesterday and she said to me, man, it'd be so nice to just be able to step away out of the room for a second to take a breath and compose yourself. Literally. Like that. I never get to do that. I can't ever just hand Joshua over. Ever at all. And many people say, well, you chose this. Damn straight I chose it, and I'm glad I did. But that does not negate the fact that it's difficult. It's difficult. It's like some jobs are really difficult to do, but people choose them. Doesn't mean they're not difficult and they don't put stress on your body. And you know what? I've got a platform and I want to share it, and so I'm going to. Like, my God, it's never ending. So at the end of the day, when I get like an ounce of time for myself, like he'll go to bed around 9 o'clock. But at 9 o'clock, I'm having to close the bedroom door. And I'm sorry, I can't close the bedroom door. And so like he sees it into the living room. I can't turn the TV on, or if I turn it on, I have to watch it on subtitles or put my AirPods in. And then, oh my God, to make it even worse, I'm thinking to myself, well, what happens if I have someone over, and he sleeps with his door open and it's like right there off the living room. And we can't really talk after he goes to sleep, or we can't really watch TV. Like, when do I get my time? And there's probably no damn answer for it. There's probably no answer. Or the only answer is when you meet someone who just is down to ride the ride. Like, and that right there feels impossible. It feels impossible. It's so annoying. I feel like all I ever do is clean, make dinners and lunches, and then on the weekends try and find some stupid place that we can go play at where he can go run around and have fun. And I'm just sitting there like, this is the most boring thing in the world to me. That is my complaint for the day. Sometimes this stuff just hits you. And then yesterday, like, I was sitting at McDonald's and I was eating with Joshua, and this woman came up to me and she goes, "He's so lucky." And I was like, "Yeah, I am lucky." And she's like, "No, I met your son." I was like, "I know, I'm just being silly." And she said, and I said, "Yeah, he's a good kid," because he is a really good kid. And she goes, "I think there's a lot of really good kids out there. The problem is we don't have a lot of really good fathers. So it's nice to see you with him." And I was just like, man, thank you so much. That was so nice to hear. But even riddled in that, I'm just like, do you know how exhausted I am? And like how, like, what do I get? What do I get? Like, you want to make all the best decisions, all the right decisions. Should you live in Los Angeles? Can you leave Los Angeles? Oh, all the good doctors are here that he needs. All his services are here. Should he go to this school or that school? Or every decision I make has to be, thought about specifically. Should we live here? Should we live there? All these different things. And none of it feels like I really matter. Like, all of it feels controlled by the fact that I'm a parent. And that's the reality. It is controlled that way. But I don't know. Anyway, I needed to share these things, and I did. So that's it. Thanks for watching.